Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our practice. On behalf of my colleague Beverly Logan and Executive Superintendents Barbara Freeman and Karen Watts, I would like to welcome you today. The pilot cohort of the NYC DOE Yoga and Mindfulness Teacher Preparation Program, funded by a generous grant from Brooklyn Borough President Eric L. Adams, graduated from our certification program this past January. As we consider our contribution to this remote environment, we believe teaching live in both our regular work streams and these now twice weekly public practices will help us realize our vision of a certified NYC DOE yoga and mindfulness teacher in every school by 2030. To get us started today, I'd like to read a little bit from one of our foundational texts from our Yoga and Mindfulness Teacher Preparation Program from the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. With the word yoga, Patanjali is describing a process of interiorization that begins with one's relation to externals, then to self, body, breath, orientation of attention, focus, absorption, and finally merger. Even though all 8 limbs are interdependent and simultaneous, the thresholds to which they apply grow increasingly interiorized with withdrawal of the senses, straddling external and internal, turning the correct corner toward the perspective of awareness. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you our certified yoga and mindfulness teacher, live from Brooklyn, Stu Chasabenis.
Good afternoon, and welcome to my home and to this practice. I am Stu Chasabenis, and I am really happy and excited not only that you're joining us and I'm leading this practice, but I'm so grateful that you have carved out time for your self-practice. As we begin this practice today, and we've become familiar with the mat, I ask you to not look at this practice as an exercise or achieving the perfect posture or holding your breath for X amount of seconds to hold the perfect stretch. No. Instead, I'd like you to look at this as an invitation and as an opportunity to cultivate awareness and activate the language of your mind, which are your thoughts, and the language of your body, which are your emotions, and together morph them with your breath as one, which is the very essence and definition of yoga, which is the union of mind, body, and breath. And to begin this journey, I'd like you to find your mat and lay back onto your mat. If you have a blanket or a towel or a block, you can place it under your head. And as you settle into your mat, I'd like to introduce the complete breath to begin this journey of awareness and cultivating your thoughts, mind, your body, your emotions, and your breath into one. Now, while I did the complete breath several weeks ago from a chair, I want you to experience this laying down where your body is in complete rest and where your body is free from all demands of gravity. So with that, I'll also invite you to close your eyes and limit the external distractions being internalized by your body. And begin by breathing your natural breath. Let your body, your mind, begin to slow down as we are in the middle of our day, coming from meetings and video calls and conference calls, and might be feeling scattered or even depleted. This is a great opportunity to sort of just slow everything down. As you're settling into your mat and your arms are to your side, I invite you to take your hands now and place them on the belly and just slowly continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Begin to explore that relationship of movement between the body and the breath. As you're settling in, feeling the body beneath you, the floor supporting you. Notice the temperature of the room. As we begin to transition to the complete breath, begin to slowly deepen and slow the patterns of your breath. Notice as the diaphragm contracts, it pushes the belly out into your palms, lifting your belly and your hands in one motion. And notice with the exhale, both hands and belly begin to drop back in. Practice this awareness for the next 3 to 5 breaths, noticing how the belly moves with the inhale and the exhale. As you deepen and slow the pattern of your breath, you'll begin to notice the musculature of your respiration. You begin to calm down. Your mind becomes clear. And when you're ready, slowly and gently slide your hands up to your outer rib area, right beneath your chest. And as your breath stems from the belly, through the inhale, notice the rib cage expand and the lungs lift. And with the exhale, notice the lungs drop and the rib cage contracts. Follow this pattern on your own for the next 3 to 5 breaths, taking slow and methodical breaths. Continue to track the path of your breath as it stems from the belly upward with each inhale, and returning from your rib cage back to the belly with each exhale. And when you're ready, next gently slide your hands up to your chest. And as we track the path of your breath, as it travels the landscape of your body, notice how it begins in the belly, filling the belly up, rib cage expands, collarbone lifts, and notice the chest grow wide. And on the exhale, collarbone drops, chest withdraws, rib cage falls, and belly empties. Continue to track this path of your breath on your own for the next 3 to 5 breaths. Notice your body slowing down. Notice your thoughts begin to shift and focus into the present moment, anchored by your breath. As you continue to breathe this slow and smooth breath, leaving your left hand on your chest, take your right hand and place it back on your belly. And now begin to track the breath, not in a 3-part sequence, but rather in a slow and smooth, long breath. Watch it stemming from the belly with the inhale, growing long upward towards the chest, and returning back down with each exhale. Now practice this smooth and slow breath on your own for 3 to 5 breaths. And just notice the relationship between your body and your breath. And understand this isn't about getting a breath right or wrong. This is about you cultivating your awareness through your breath and noting that your breath is the root of your own joy and balance. As you continue to breathe, I invite you to bring your hands back to the sides if you're laying down. If you opted to remain seated, place your hands back on your thighs. And we'll transition slowly by concluding this breathing practice with 2 letting go breaths. I'll ask you to take a deep inhale through the nose, hold, and release it with a sigh. One final letting go breath before we transition to the mat Take a deep inhale through the nose, hold, and just let it go with a sigh. If your eyes were closed, slowly open them as we transition onto the mat. I'd like you to find your table pose. What you'll do is you'll come onto your knees. Your hips are above your knees. And inhale forward, placing your hands shoulder width apart. Your fingers are wide. Shoulders are above wrists. And your hips are above your knees. The tops of your feet are down. And just take a moment to breathe in this table pose with our limbs serving as legs of a table and our back is a straight surface of a table. Take 2 or 3 breaths here, rooting your hands into the mat, your knees and your wrists symbolizing the support of your body. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly transition to a warming up of the spine with a cat and cow. Curl your toes underneath. Lift your tailbone and chest, look straight ahead. Inhaling the chest forward for a cow. And exhale, drawing and rounding the spine, drawing the abdomen in, chin to chest for your cow. Inhale, lifting tailbone and chest, dropping the belly, looking straight ahead. Exhale, rounding spine, drawing navel in, chin to chest, as our back reaches for the ceiling. One more time. Inhale forward, tailbone, chest lift, belly drops as you look straight ahead. Exhale, rounding spine, drawing that abdomen in, chin to chest, as our back reaches for the ceiling to really warm up the spine. When you're ready, just simply return to your table. Ensure by looking down that your hips are still above your knees, your wrists are supporting your body, your shoulders are above your wrists. Next, I'll ask you to, on your inhale, just extend your right leg straight out to the back, flex that foot, and notice your body now as it's supported by 3 limbs rather than 4. Continue to breathe into this. Breathe from your head down to your foot. And if you'd like increased intensity here, extend your opposite arm, in this case, my left arm out. And notice that we have a straight line from the fingertips to the foot. Full breath here. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, back out, extending. And one more time. Inhale, knee to elbow. Extend back out, straight line. Full breath here. And release the leg down. Hand comes back to mat as we come back into table. Take 2 full breaths here, noticing the difference now, if any, between your right and left leg, your right and left arm. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. Notice your heartbeat. Notice where your mind is. Is your mind following your body? When you're ready next, we'll extend our left leg this time straight out. The foot is flexed. As we come back from 4 limbs back to 3. And if you like increased intensity, take your opposite arm, in this case, my right arm, extending it forward. Straight line, fingertips to foot. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, straight out, extending, lengthening the spine. One more time. Inhale, knee to elbow. Extend once again, lengthening. Arms are activated, the legs are activated. And exhale, arm and leg coming back to mat. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. Just keep moving. take a few seconds, move in any motion that you feel your body is yearning and calling for. And when you're ready, as we find ourselves back in table, I'd like you to curl your toes underneath. Begin to shift your hips back. Your sit bones will start to go up towards the ceiling. Draw your torso into your thighs. As we begin to prepare to come into our downward dog, if you'd like, and it feels okay, you can leave your legs bent here for an increased intensity, feeling our hands pushing the mat away from us. Slowly lower the heels of your foot as we come into our dog. Take 1 or 2 breaths here. Feel your body supported by your arms. Your hips are back and up. And on your next inhale, shift forward with your hips. Come into high plank. Hold here for 2 breaths. And when you're ready, slowly release to your Chaturanga Dandasana. Low plank, come to the floor. At this point, you can take your palms, place them under your head, and slowly rest your head for 2-3 breaths. When you're ready, with the tops of your feet on the mat, all 10 toenails on the mat, and your thighs pressing into the mat, bring your hands below your shoulders as we go into a mini cobra. And using the back muscles, we're going to lengthen and using our arms only for support rather than pushing our body up using our arms. Slowly lengthen, lifting, leading with the chest, looking straight ahead for our cobra, also known as our Bhujangasana in Sanskrit. Hold for 2 breaths and release. Slowly back to the mat. If you'd like a modified back bend, we can use the Sphinx, which is basically taking your forearms, placing them here onto the mat. Your fingertips are past your shoulders. Your elbows are drawn into your body. Your thighs and hip pelvic bone is pressing into the mat. Each toenail pressing against the mat. We're going to slowly use our back muscles once again to lift using our arms for support in our Sphinx. Option to stay with the cobra if you wanted to. Hold for 2 breaths. And release. Slowly back to the mat. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. Deep inhale. Hold. And exhale back to table. When you're ready, take a moment here to appreciate the little subtleties and nuances of your body. Next, I'll ask you to, from table, bring your left leg forward to the inside of your frame by your 2 hands. You're at a right angle here. Your knee is above your ankle. As we're going to go into our crescent lunge, what I'd like you to do at this point is, with the back leg, slowly begin to lengthen and straighten that leg. The balls of your feet remain up. Your knee still remains above your ankle. Bring your hands to your hips. As we are in our crescent lunge, your hips should be square with the front of the mat. Inhale to adjust the length between and distance between your legs to find stability. And if you'd like increased intensity from this crescent lunge, simply inhale your arms forward. Hold here. 2 breaths. Your heel of your back foot remains up as You are supported by the ball of the back foot. And after your second breath, bring your hands back to your hips and straighten that front leg. Take your left hand, put it on your thigh, and just bend and straighten once or twice, noticing how your muscles are activated by this motion. When you're ready, take your back foot with the heel up, place it down, and toe heel it inwardly to a 45-degree angle as we prepare to transition into our side warrior, also known as warrior 2. Inhale, finding a lengthened distance between your legs. The front foot, in this case the left foot is pointing towards the short end of the mat, the front of the mat, and the back foot on a 45-degree angle. Legs are wide and activated. With the side warrior, you're going to square your hips with the side of the mat. So now I'm facing the computer screen and you are facing the long side of your mat. And with the stability and grounded by both our feet, we're going to slowly lengthen our straight leg back and sink into our front left leg, knee above ankle. Notice the inner stretch of the inner thigh. Your calf muscles and hamstrings are activated on your front leg. Your quadricep is engaged. And when you're ready, simply sweep your arms up so they become parallel with the floor. Arms are engaged. Take a peek at your back arm. Look past your fingers. Make sure it's lined up with your front arm. And just take 2-3 breaths here. Warrior 2. Building focus and concentration. Sanskrit, your Virabhadrasana. When you're ready, bring your hands back to your hips. Straighten the leg out. Bend and lengthen that front leg, noticing the activation of your leg muscles. And next, we'll do Warrior 2 one more time. Inhale, bring the arms up. Arms are engaged. Hands are strong, fingers are wide. Take 2 breaths here. And release hands to hips. Deep breath out. We're reaching and stretching with our inhales and surrendering with our exhales. When you're ready, I want you to take that front foot, pivot the toes inward. So now we are wide leg stance, pigeon-toed. Take your hands, place them on your hips, and just take a breath here. Inhale deeply, exhale through the mouth. When you're ready, I'll invite you to take your hands, place them behind your back, interlace your hands, fingers are engaged, and inhale forward to a flat back. Hold here for a full breath. And on an exhale, release, coming down, forward, bringing your hands to the floor. As we lengthen and extend our lower back and our spine, our hamstrings are activated. One more breath here. Inhale, hands to hips, and exhale out. Next, looking down at your right foot, slowly pivot the right foot forward so the right foot is completely pointing in the right direction towards the short end of your mat. Your back foot still in that pigeon toe pose and angle remains the same as we come into our crescent lunge here. As we sink into our front leg, knee above ankle, lift the ball of your foot of your back leg, square your hips with the front of the mat. And if you'd like this pose right here with stability, leave your hands with your hips, or you can extend your arms forward for increased intensity. And take 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhale. You're ready. Drop the back heel of the foot. Take a breath here. Our legs are positioned fine and perfectly for our side warrior. We're going to take our hips, which were squared with the short end of the mat, and we're going to square them with the long end of the mat this time as we open up and spiral open to our left side. When you're ready, same motion. Our legs are engaged. Feel the front leg bend, sinking into that leg, supported by the outer back foot. Knee is above the ankle, not past the toes. Feel the stretch of the inner thigh, the outer thigh, and the back leg. And when you're ready, sweep your arms up with an inhale. Extend, fingers are wide. Arms are activated, shoulders are activated. Chest is open. Looking front, gazing past your right fingertips. Take a quick peek to your back fingertips, making sure your arms are aligned. Take 2 breaths here. And after your second breath, release, straighten that front leg. Bring hands to hips. If you'd like, bend and straighten that front leg. Feel the little subtleties of the muscles working. Your breath rewarding each movement. And we'll go into Warrior 2 one more time. Inhale forward, sinking into that right leg, knee bent straight above the ankle. Left leg supporting us. Calf muscles are engaged, quadriceps and hamstrings. Chest is strong and open. Back and upper shoulder areas are engaged. Our arms are strong as you gaze past your right fingers. One more breath. And exhale back. Hands to hips. This time take your front foot, which is pointing forward, and angle it towards the corner of your mat. Angle your other foot towards the corner of the far mat. As with a wide leg stance, feet pointed outwardly. Deep breath here. Inhale your arms out. As we come into our 5-pointed star, opening up the chest and the heart for love and hope. Continue to breathe here in this very accepting position. One more inhale, exhale. Inhale, right arm over left arm for our modified eagle. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself some love. Have some fun. Exhale your arms out. Full breath here. Inhale, left arm above right arm this time. Elbows are aligned. Full breath here. Release on the exhale. Bring your hands to your hips. And let's go back to the mat where we'll sit for a seated forward fold. Your legs are straight. Your back is straight and elongated. Your feet are flexed. We're simply going to inhale our arms up and exhale forward, reaching for the bottom of our feet, our ankles, or our shin, wherever you feel most comfortable. 3 breaths here. And when you're ready, release. Bring your hands back to your thigh or knee area. Take a breath here. And when you're ready, bring your right leg into you and cross your right ankle over your left leg. As you look down at your right foot, make sure each of your 5 toes are planted on the mat. As we come into a seated spinal twist, I'll ask you to inhale your arms wide. Exhale, bringing your knee into your torso. For extra support, if you'd like, take your left arm, bring it behind you. Take 2 breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale to stretch and exhale to surrender. Release the foot, bring the leg back over and place it back down so the right foot can meet the left foot, and notice if any differences between the right and left leg at this point. Take a full breath here. On your next inhale, bend your left leg, bring it in, your left ankle over your right knee. Ensure that all 5 toes are on the mat. Take a breath here. Inhale your arms wide. Exhale, bring the arms back in. Squeezing the knee into the torso. Option to bring your right arm behind you. Exhale, releasing the leg. Take a full breath here. Noticing what you're noticing. Feeling your body. When you're ready, I'm going to ask you to come to your mat laying on your back. Find the mat, a blanket or a box, a block to support your head. Your legs are extended at first. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. When you're ready, bend both legs so both bottoms of the feet are on the mat. And when you're ready, bring your left foot, cross it over, bring your left ankle to rest on your right knee. And when you're ready, I want you to inhale, bring your left arm between the openings of your right and left leg. Hold your knee, holding your right knee. Both feet are flexed. The back of your head is on the mat. As we come to a reclined pigeon, opening up our hips, 3 breaths here. Breathe into your hip area, elongating and stretching your body. 2, and 1 more breath. Let your right foot come back to the mat. Take a moment here. Release the left leg, bring it back down to meet the right leg. Notice any difference, if any, between the right and left side. Next, bring the right ankle to the left knee. Take a full breath here. And then inhale, bringing your right arm between the opening of your right and left leg. Drawing in your leg to your body, flex your feet. 3 breaths here. 2, 1, inhaling on a stretch and surrendering on the exhale. Releasing both feet down. Maybe take a moment here, pedal your heel of the foot up and down. And next, inhale, drawing your knees into your torso. Clasping them with your arms. Giving yourself a hug. And maybe slightly for the next 3 to 4 breaths, just rock side to side, massaging the lower muscles of your back. But also giving yourself a much needed hug, rewarding yourself for this practice. When you're ready, release. Extend your legs forward. Let them rest on the mat. The back of your heel is on the mat. As we enter our corpse pose, Sanskrit is your Savasana. And just, I invite you to close your eyes and let your body rest. Reward your body. Continue to breathe, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Allow this opportunity to become an exploration of the balance between your acute awareness of the active breath and your full surrender to your natural breath. Feel the floor beneath your body. Feel the temperature of the room. Your chest is open, your heart is open. Inhale hope. Exhale fear. Inhale calm. Exhale anxiety. Inhale opportunity. And exhale limits. As you continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, notice the body and mind shifting between deep consciousness and full relaxation. And when you're ready, begin to slow your breath. Roll over gently to one of your sides. If your eyes have been closed, open your eyes and come back to a sitting pose. And when you're ready and you're back in seated, take a full and deep inhale here. Exhale through the mouth or the nose. I invite you to close your eyes at this moment. As you continue to breathe, notice what thoughts come to your mind. No need to push those thoughts away. No need to ignore those thoughts. Simply notice them and come back to your breath. As you continue to breathe, I'm going to invite you to think of something that brings joy to you. Think of a place or a memory that makes you happy. As you think of this time or place, what do you see? What are the visuals that arise in your mind? Are there familiar faces, family or friends? The beauty of nature? Whatever it may be for you, simply notice what you're seeing and the emotion that arises from that thought. Next, What sounds do you hear when you think of this memory? Perhaps the laughter of children, the rustling of leaves with the wind, maybe the waves of an ocean or beach splashing onto the sand. Whatever those sounds may be for you, simply notice them and notice the emotion that's connected to the thought. Next, what are the tastes that come to mind with this memory? Think about the different foods, perhaps fruits, whatever they may be. Notice them and bring your focus to the emotion attached to that thought. Next, think about the smells of this memory. Begin to think about the different aromas that fill this memory of yours. Perhaps foods or herbs, perhaps wood burning on a fire, whatever that may be for you. Notice the emotion that is attached to that thought. And finally, what sensations come to mind with this memory? Perhaps the temperature of the room, perhaps the sun shining onto your skin, whatever that may be for you. Think about that thought. Think about the emotion attached to that visual. And as you continue to breathe this memory, think about the emotions that are attached to that memory. The language of your body follows the language of your mind. As you continue to breathe, let this memory and let this meditation serve as a reminder that your joy and your balance comes from within, is rooted within your mind and your body, that you are your own source of healing and comfort. When you're ready, I'd like to welcome you back from this memory with your eyes still closed. Begin to breathe as we come back together to this practice. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth or the nose. I'd like to conclude this mindfulness practice with 2 letting go breaths. Begin with a deep inhale through the nose, hold it for a brief moment, and release it with a sigh. And 1 final letting go breath. Deep inhale through the nose, inhale all this day has to offer, and release it with a sigh. If your eyes have been closed, you may slowly open them. I want to thank you for participating in this practice. And I'd like to now introduce the Director of Student Services, also a great person, an amazing human being, a friend of mine, Beverly Logan.
Thank you, Stu, for that wonderful practice. Thank you, everyone, for coming on and joining us. This will be every Wednesday, uh, mat practice, and get, of course, our Friday access yoga practice at 2 o'clock. I do want to leave you with the impact of kindness is truly invaluable, and it costs nothing to spread the impact. Today, you were kind to yourself. So let's share that impact and be kind to others. Have a wonderful Wednesday and see you Friday. As always, you can visit our website, www.ymtpp.org, to continue to get your fill of mindfulness and yoga. Have a wonderful day.